like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
Alright guys, Boruto episode 210 spoilers. Alright guys, this episode is pretty much going to be like, I'd say a little bit more serious than the last episode. The last episode was really about Kawaki essentially finding himself and finding his acceptance into the Hidden Leaf Village. Now we get back to the quote-unquote debauchery right here. But real quick before I get into the video, my homie Cycles, he wants to build a fan Dragon Ball game and he's actually looking for programmers. So if you guys are a programmer, you guys want more information about this, make sure you guys hit Cycles. I'm going to leave a link to his Twitter in the description down below. So episode 10, I do want to give a huge shout out to Organic Dinosaur because I'm going to be reading her spoilers that she did actually release a couple of weeks ago. And in these spoilers, basically details exactly what's going to happen in the next episode, but also, of course, obviously leaves out a couple of things. But regardless, the title is going to be clues about Kata. But into the actual paragraph, it says, even though they have made contact with Jigen and the other leaders of Kata, Konoha Village has been unable to acquire many details about their organization. Meanwhile, Boruto and his comrades have battled Boro. Boro was confirmed to be the founder of a sect who was planning to use a jutsu from the Otsutsuki clan, the Infinite Tsukiyomi, to grant salvation to the members of his own religious organization. In order to investigate any possible connections between the group and Kata, Sarutobi, Konohama, and Yamanaka Sai embark upon an infiltration mission in order to gain access to inside that religious organization. The two of them then happen to encounter a woman. She says that the members, like her younger brother, can finally return home from that sect for the first time in several years. It seems as though her siblings was performing activities that served Boro and his quote-unquote god, but for some reason that woman's younger brother still hasn't been able to come back home yet. Alright, so that's pretty much what's going to happen in this episode right here. Now, a couple of things that I do want to point out, it was always fishy to me exactly how Boro was really planning to use an quote-unquote infinite Tsukiyomi if no one that he really knows has a Rinne Sharingan. It might be a possibility that Ishiko Tsuku was just feeding Boro lies, basically tell him like, hey, I have a quote-unquote Rinne Sharingan, I'm able to use the infinite Tsukiyomi. But one of the things that we know about Boro is that he's a liar, he's a known liar, but it seems like he was really dead set on using this infinite Tsukiyomi. It seemed like he really believed in the Otsutsuki clan, and one of the ways that have been shown of actually getting a Rinne Sharingan, or someone getting a Rinne Sharingan, it has something to do with the God tree. Now this right here is going to be very interesting in the next episode, mainly because it might be possible that Boro was actually trying or planning to build a God tree. Now in this specific paragraph right here, it did say that Sai and Konohama did actually run into a young lady, and she said that her brother was supposed to be coming home because of the sect, obviously because Boro was not there, was supposed to be disbanded, and of course they'd be free. But if this is actually the case, that he was actually building a sort of, I should say, God tree, then the people that are actually in the sect would then obviously be giving their chakra, their power, or their lives for this God tree. So it's a very good chance that a lot of people that were in that actual sect has already been sacrificed. Now that right there is just a theory. In my personal opinion, I think that the most likely scenario would probably be the fact that they're just all still kind of delusional. They still believe that Boro is probably going to come back. They probably believe that all the information that they're actually getting from everybody basically tell them that Boro is probably dead is probably false, is probably a rumor. And of course, because of that, they're probably going to stay in that quote-unquote religious organization. So I doubt any of the real core members are actually going to be leaving Boro's sect anytime soon. But one of the interesting things that I do want the manga readers to actually look out for is any sort of, I should say, inclinations or any sort of ideas that Boro is hiding some sort of cyborgs in his hideout mail, because obviously from the manga readers, we know that right there is going to be very prevalent in the future. Now, not only that, from the preview, and I made this very clear in the last video that I did make, Delta is going to be in the next episode. Now this right here is going to be very interesting. I really don't think that Delta is going to fight Konohama or Sai. I honestly don't think that the Boruto riders want to kill off Konohama or Sai this quickly, but the big thing about Delta being in this episode is the fact that we're going to get more Kata organization presence. I think that we're probably going to get the reason upon why Delta did actually go to Boro's hideout. I think as of right now, from all the Kata organization's informations, they probably think that Boro is still in that other dimension actually guarding Naruto. As of right now, they still don't even know that Naruto is actually free. So Delta going there is going to be for a reason, and I do want to know exactly what that reason is going to be, because of course if they sent Delta there to his hideout, that possibly means that A, Boro was probably hiding something, or B, or possibly be wrapped into the A, but the Kata organization doesn't necessarily fully trust Boro, and they want to get him out of that religious organization so they can kind of check out exactly what the situation is going to be. Either way, it's definitely going to be interesting, and of course I definitely do want to see even more of the Kata organization. Even though we already confirmed that Delta is going to be in the next episode, I would love to see either Kashin Koji, love to see Jigen, Amato, just a bunch of them, just so they can give us a lot more information and fill in some more of the blanks that hasn't necessarily been talked about in the Boruto anime as of yet. I'm actually going to be super interested to see exactly what Konohama Matsai are actually trying to look for, because again, as the spoiler said, they basically have absolutely no information as of right now. And even if they do go to this quote-unquote religious organization, I don't necessarily think that this religious organization is going to have much information about the Kata organization in there. I think one of the biggest reasons why we can possibly assume this is because Boruto himself probably wouldn't want everybody to know exactly what the Kata organization is, mainly because the Kata organization is supposed to be by nature this extremely top secret organization. So because of that, I don't necessarily know if they're probably going to find much in Boruto's hideout. In a situation like this, even though I think it's going to be highly unlikely, the best thing to do actually gather information would be to go to the other dimensions where it is confirmed that the Kata organization actually does frequent. The dimension that Naruto and Sasuke fought Jigen in, also the dimension where Sasuke seen the 10 tails in. But visiting something like this, I'm not necessarily completely sure if that right there is going to get it done. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. I personally believe it's going to be very good just because of the sight of Delta that I did see in the preview. I'm super excited to actually see it. But if you made this far, you guys might as well subscribe, like the video. But it's me, your boy Barbie, and we out.
It's a knife.